So lucky I had to go and do something. I'm back on the video. I had to willingly do something. If you apply that scripture to the Jews and the Israelites that was in that time period, right, you'll understand that being an Israelite isn't just about saying, "Oh, I got circumcised on the eighth day," right? It's about what you're actually physically doing, man. Like what you're actually doing, your works, right? You can't just say you got faith and think that you're righteous because outwardly nobody can see any sins in you, but it's behind in the shadows you're doing all manner of sins, right? You, you can't be like, okay, I'm circumcised in my flesh on the eighth day. How can you glory in circumcision of the flesh on the eighth day? You wasn't even born. You couldn't even walk then. You couldn't say, yes, I do want to get circumcised, or no, I don't want to get circumcised if you were circumcised according to the law. That's not even really a thing you can boast in because you didn't have no choice in if you had it done. Your parents decided that for you, right? Neither can you boast in, oh, I've got fringes and I've got tassels on my fringe and all of this, and I got the borders of blue because the borders of blue and the circumcision, the reasoning for that is that when you do it, when you have those things, you're supposed to say, I'm going to follow the laws and not some of them, all. So if your boast is in those things, then you're supposed to follow those things, man. Right? Verse 29, but he is a Jew which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. So if you're boasting in the outward things that men can see, oh, he's got been circumcised in the eighth day, oh, he's got the nicest fringes, and he always wears his fringes. I've never seen that brother without fringes, you know. Man's on that fringe thing hard, you know. Man's always got a fringes. He's got fringes on his vest. He's got fringes on his shorts. He's got fringes on his socks. He's got fringes on his fringes. You know, he's got fringes on his washcloth. He's got fringes on his boxer shorts. You know, he's got fringes on his towel. He's just got fringes on. He's got fringes on his shower curtains. You know, like no, that's not the glory, man. Is he doing righteousness? That's the glory, and that can only be truly known by God knowing if you're doing it or not, because other men are not around you all the time to really be knowing that. But you can physically look at somebody and see, okay, he's always wearing fringes, or he's okay. He looks like he's got the following the laws. He's got the beard. You know, I haven't ever seen him eat pork. I've never seen him commit adultery. I've never seen him bear false witness. But I don't really know what he's doing behind the scenes, though, do you? You don't really know, and that's why to be an Israelite is not just a thing of what people can see you're doing, man. Because everyone can be questionable and can question whether that person is really about believing in Yahweh Shai, right? And that's why, man. This is why, man. This is a beautiful thing to think that I'm thinking of right now, man. Is everyone can show to everybody else that's an Israelite, oh, I'm about being an Israelite, man, right? Everyone can show that. Everyone can do things to show it. But guess what, man? Yahweh is setting up a day, and I didn't even plan to bring this scripture out, but Yahweh's setting up a day, man. Right? Yahweh's setting up a day that every Israelite is gonna really get the chance to prove if they're about it for him, for Yahweh to see, not for men to see, but for Yahweh to see if people are really about believing him or not. It's gonna be set up, man. A day is coming that's gonna be set up for men to show if they really believe in the Lord, man. It's coming. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 4. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. It's not yet been tested for us in our times right now that we're living in, man. To be like having to choose our life being taken off us to show if we believe in the Lord. So all that I keep all the laws all the time. I got fringes on my pillows. I got fringes on my duvet covers. I got fringes on my linen covers. You know, I got fringes on my TV. You know, I got fringes on my curtains in my house and all of that stuff. All right, that's nice. That might look nice if somebody had that. It might look very nice, right? But there's a time coming that's being set up for Israelites to prove if they believe in the Lord or not, man. And it's not going to be about anything else other than whether your spirit has been chosen by Yahweh to go through this and to refuse it. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, Save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So that's what's being set up right now. Who's prepared to not be deceived by that? Who really believes that they're going to be faced with a situation where they're going to have to believe that in the heavens, right, that Yahweh Shai is in the heavens at the right hand side of Yahweh, and that if you lose your life right now, you're going to be coming back with glory in the kingdom of heaven, and that's going to be a story to tell? Or are people going to believe that this is their only life that they got, and that if they lose this life, that they ain't got nothing left, so they may as well take it? Are they going to choose what them Greeks, what them Israelites decided to do and say, forget being an Israelite, I'm going to call myself a Greek, and that since we've joined on, disappeared from these people, we've had much sorrow? Are they going to do the same thing as those Israelites that chose to be Greeks? Or are they going to do the same thing as what the Israelites that chose to be Jews in that time did and refused that way? Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them and received a charagma of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. Now, being deceived didn't mean that they didn't face the fire. So that's not going to be an excuse in that time. You're not going to be able to say, oh, I was deceived, so I shouldn't taste the flames. No, you're going to taste the flames anyway, man. And that's why Yahweh's setting up a day like this to where it's going to be proved who doesn't know, don't believe. You're not going to have to question who is and who isn't of the elect anymore. If they have a charagma in their hand or in their forehead, not of the elect. Simple. You ain't going to have to question whether people are or are not of the elect. You ain't going to have to question whether you are or are not of the elect. If you get the charagma, you ain't of the elect. You ain't going to have to say, well, I might be of the elect because it's going to get taken out. It might get taken out just before the arrows, the ICBMs get shot and the lake of fire is made. No, if you take the charagma, you're not of the elect. And it doesn't matter which way it goes into you. If you was of the elect, it wouldn't end up in you. And that goes for me too. That goes for me. That goes for you. That goes for anybody. Everyone's going to get to see whether they believe in the Lord or not, man. I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.